Hiya, Gavin, mate. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, mate, yeah. Hasselblad finally sent me that Earth Explorer special edition of the X2D. It's kind of like yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't just buy one?
No, definitely. Don't be ridiculous, Tom.
Because you know, you could have just borrowed mine. Like, you'd probably have to sell your camper van if you wanted to afford one. You didn't sell your camper van, did you, Gavin?
For sale?
Well, it's for sale now, let's put it that way.
Well, congratulations, it's a gorgeous camera. Anyway, out of interest, Gavin, what's the issue number on your camera?
The what?
The issue number, you know, there's an issue number on the side of your camera there.
Oh, right, yeah, well, you won't believe this, Tom. Mine says 007.
Bollocks! There's no way yours is 007.
Yeah, no, it's 007.
No, I don't believe you, mate. Send me a photo.
What?
Take a photo of the 007 number on the side of your camera and send it to me for proof.
All right, but I'll do it later.
Yeah, all right, but none of that Photoshop stuff that I always see in your videos.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Good, because, you know, I'll know if you do it. I can spot that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Tom, I've got to go.
Yeah.
See you. Yeah.
All right, mate. All right.
See you later, mate. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
What a wanker.
What a wanker. 007.
I couldn't wait to take the Earth Explorer Limited Edition out for a spin, and the autumn colours were just about perfect.
Oh man, I just love exploring the forest, especially in autumn. It's my favourite time of year, really. What about you?
Yeah, it used to be mine.
What do you mean?
No, you're selling the camper. Piece of phototripper history.
Well, you know, it's served its purpose. You know, it's just time for a change.
No, it's not. Nobody likes change.
Amanda was clearly excited to be out in the forest.
Right, let's see if I can find a shot.
And I knew just where to capture a lovely image that reflects the gorgeous tundra brown colour of this Earth Explorer camera. Now, I was really excited to try out the new 55mm prime lens, but for this composition, I needed the 20 to 35. So I framed up a shot that really pushes the limits of not just the lens, but this beautiful 100 megapixel medium format camera.
Now, I've photographed this tree countless different ways. It's actually one of my favourite spots to bring my private clients and my workshop participants, because this forest is almost like a lesson in composition. There are so many subjects, so many positions you can get yourself in to get a beautiful shot. And I kind of test my students when I bring them here to see if they can find this shot that I've framed up here. And I give them the objective of trying to find a nice framing foreground element. Obviously the tree itself is gorgeous. Like I said, you can get a really nice shot from any angle, but it's far more interesting if you can get a shot of that to introduce a really interesting foreground element that frames it nicely. So I'm gonna give away my secret and show you this composition. I'm gonna try and actually shoot it for the first time today with these gorgeous conditions. So I've got the camera in position, and what a perfect first shot with this Earth Explorer camera deep in the earth. Like I'm down on my knees, taters deep in mud. Absolutely magic. So what I've got is the beautiful gnarly tree that you can see there in all its glory, which is always a gimme shot. Any shot of that is always tasty, but I feel by introducing this beautiful framing tree here with this gorgeous root. So you can see this here, this is the tree, and it just comes in and creates this beautiful little cradle. I love that. And then if you look at the rest of the composition, we've got some other nice elements. You've got this gorgeous mossy boulder here, and I love all these yellow leaves, and of course that gorgeous yellow canopy that you can see in the top of the frame there. So that's something that I wouldn't say I'm always looking for, but I'm often looking for framing elements like this that just add another layer to the composition, make it a bigger scene with more dimension than just bosh, a straight shot of just that tree. It really puts you in this forest, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take you on an adventure as I go through these beautiful landscapes. Anyway, I'm gonna have to focus stack this shot because I'm really close, as you can see, to this foreground. If this turns out to be any good, here's the shot.
first location to take the new camera, and I was only just getting started. But I noticed Amanda was unusually quiet.
Yeah, it's quite a nice shot, that, love. I'm quite proud of that. What do you think? All right, well, obviously she loves it. So, you want to get a snack or something? Burger or something?
I was actually quite impressed with Amanda's speed on the trail today. Whatever she's had for breakfast, it's working.
Now, just be on the lookout for mushrooms, love, because this is mushroom season. I'd love to get a nice shot of some mushrooms. Remember that one I got down at Ricketts Glen last year?
Yeah.
It's a good shot, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, only because I found it.
Here's the shot.
So I took Amanda out for dinner and some grape juice, which I thought might cheer her up, but didn't seem to be working today. She then polished off her Thanksgiving dinner and then devoured my rhubarb crumble, all to herself. Now, if that doesn't put a smile on her face, I don't know what will. We then spent the night at a beautiful lake in the mountains.
Well, it's 8:30 a.m. I've had 3 hours of sleep, and I do have a face like a bag of blunt chisels. But I'm still quite happy because I've woken up in the Highlands of Cape Breton. What's your face like, love? Oh, thunder. I see. Anyway, we're going to have a quick breakfast and then get back on the road and see what we can see in terms of fall colours here in Cape Breton.
So we drove deeper into the mountains in search of autumn colours. I was inspired by the tundra brown colour of the Earth Explorer camera, and I wanted to find a scene that would take full advantage of Hasselblad's famous colour rendering. So I found the ideal composition, but once again it required the wide-angle lens. But keep watching, because I do finally find a shot that's just perfect for that 55mm prime.
Alright, so I've come to probably my favourite waterfall in all of Cape Breton Island. And the conditions are, I mean, just look at this. Just absolutely, it's just magnifique. Absolutely stunning. What would you say, love? Anyway, let me explain this composition that I've framed up. Alright, so it's all about those fall colours, and of course the waterfall. So I've polarised this shot just to make those colours really pop, really contrasty and saturated. It looks gorgeous. Let's just get rid of this, go to a rule of thirds grid. So what I've got is the top of the waterfall cascading into the centre of the frame. And what I've tried to do, obviously that's a central subject, but I've tried to frame it nicely with this tree here, with that gorgeous root system and that lovely canopy. And if you look at the top of the frame, you'll see I've just managed to exclude the triangle of pointlessness, which is this. You know I hate this. So I always try to compose my shot so that doesn't creep in. So like, if I nudge this camera down, that's about as much as I dare let into the frame. And you can see that reflected here on the back of the Earth Explorer camera. So with a waterfall like this, which is essentially just a cascade, it's a gentle cascade, I do like a little bit of motion blur. So I'll start at 0.3 seconds, and then I might just speed it up to something like a 1/6 of a second. And then when I've got that for the motion blur in the water and making sure that those highlights aren't blown out, then I'll just increase the exposure, maybe overexpose it a little bit to bring out all that gorgeous shadow detail that you can see on the left. And then on top of that, I'll probably take a super fast one where I might just open up my aperture a little bit and then just get a really quick exposure, just so that those leaves, you can see these leaves here are kind of moving gently. Well, I don't want them to be too blurred in the shot, so I'll take a faster exposure to try and capture that. So if this shot turns out to be any good, here's the shot.
We'd timed this trip to the Highlands of Cape Breton pretty much perfectly, and the new camera did an absolutely stellar job of capturing those gorgeous colours. But I still really wanted a shot with that 55mm prime that came with the Earth Explorer camera.
So I was just driving down the highway and I looked to my left down this river and I saw this beautiful tree, absolutely gorgeous, just leaning over the river, creating this gorgeous reflexio. And I thought, if I just do a little bit of bushwhacking, I might get a shot of that. There's no trail, so I am bushwhacking. I can't get quite close enough yet, but I'm going to keep going and see if I can just get a little bit closer, because there's a whole bunch of deadfall in the river, which I don't want in my shot. I'm trying to try and fill my frame with that gorgeous tree, because it's got greens, yellows, oranges and reds. Absolutely magnificent. And I love the way it's leaning. So I'm going to carry on bushwhacking, see if I can get a bit closer to the action. Hopefully there's no bears out here. Any bears? Yeah, no response. No bears then.
Now, I was definitely being an Earth explorer to get this shot, but strangely, it's not really the bears that you have to worry about in Nova Scotia. It's the bloody ticks. Thankfully, I didn't get any on me.
Well, after a little bit of bushwhacking, I think I'm at the perfect spot to get a lovely shot of that tree. If I'm lucky, I might just be able to get a shot with that 55mm, I think it's an f2.5 prime that comes with this Earth Explorer camera. I'll see if I can frame that up.
Finally, I'd found the perfect composition for the 55mm. But would it turn out to be any good? You tell me. Now, 55mm is a very challenging focal length for the types of landscape photography that I do, but be sure to subscribe, because I'm going to make a conscious effort to step out of my comfort zone in future episodes and work with focal lengths that make me see things in a different way.
Now, I thought about it and I thought, what would be the perfect way to end this video? You know, what would this be in the Earth Explorer camera? And I thought, the aurora borealis. So you know what I did? I just ordered one up. I didn't really, but because I live in Canada, one of the benefits of living in this beautiful country, I wouldn't say that we get the aurora a lot, but I think there's more chances of seeing it here than there are in places like, let's say, England. And it is kicking off tonight. Let me just take this shot. Whenever you're doing a shot like this, where you've got either, let's say, a galaxy or the aurora in the background, what you really want is a nice, interesting foreground subject. So you know what I picked? I picked the camper. Now, this definitely doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I'm trying to sell the camper, the truck and the camper. Definitely nothing to do with that. No, I just thought, what better to put under the aurora as it's kicking off up above, which you probably can't see right now on this camera, than that beautiful rig. Because that rig has also been my Earth Explorer. I've gone everywhere in that. Now I'm getting rid of it. I've got a new Earth Explorer. So let me talk you through this shot. So as you can hopefully see there, I've gone for a vertical. And you can see that I've placed the truck and the camper in the bottom half of the frame, and the top half of the frame is just all aurora. So my shooting plan is to take a whole bunch of frames of the sky kicking off. You know, you can see all these beautiful different positions of the aurora, and then periodically I'll take a much longer exposure like this one, which I'll use to blend the bottom half of the frame. And that way I'll have a bit more detail, because it's a much longer exposure, in these darker areas of the foreground with the camper there. And as I said, you know, this is definitely nothing to do with the fact that this beautiful truck and the Bigfoot camper is for sale. Definitely nothing to do with that, but I mean, if you were interested, please get in touch. There'll be a link in the description. Anyway, what I'm going to do is just sort of camp out here for a bit longer, see how many shots I can get, then I'll pick an absolute winner and I'll show you the result. And if it turns out to be any good, here's the shot.
Quite believe just how lucky I've been to have such amazing conditions on my first 2 days with the camera. It must be my lucky camera. It is, after all, the 007.
Ah, that was brilliant, getting an aurora. Oh, sorry, hang on. Oh, it's Tom. A bit late for him. See what he wants. All right, Tom, how's it going?
Hiya, Gavin. How's it going with that 007 Earth Explorer camera?
Oh yeah, it's going great. Yeah, I just got some lovely aurora shots. You probably didn't get those in England.
Well, you know that photograph you sent me? Yeah, of the 007 number on the side?
Yeah.
Well, I ran it through one of those clever AI detection tools on the internet.
And?
Well, you lied, Gavin. It's not 007, is it?
No, it's not, Tom.
No, exactly. So go on, what number is yours? Because they only made 1,000 units.
0725.
You are a disgrace, Gavin.
I am, yeah, I'm a disgrace. But what's your issue number, Tom?
Oh, mine? Well, mine is a little bit special.
Yeah?
Yeah, hang on. I'll send you a photograph.
Yeah, send it over.
Yeah, there we go. It's sent.
Bastard!
All right, mate. Enjoy your new camera and good luck with selling the camper. All right, yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider picking up a signed copy of my latest landscape photography book, Stories Within Stories. There's a link in the description. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, bosh that button and don't forget to tickle my bell. Oh, and look at these absolute legends that support me on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.